You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Road Transfer, Black and White Sports 2. Well, we are going to talk about the Washington Redskins. We're also going to talk about the Commanders. Of course, that is the team name now. A lot of Redskins fans won't claim it. Don't blame you. Don't blame you. They're still the Redskins to me. Hell, I'm not even a Redskins fan, right? But we know the long, storied history of that franchise, all the great players, and, of course, the great Joe Gibbs that was involved in that franchise. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor, of course, and Darryl Green, Art Monk, Joe Theismann, the Hogs, John Riggins, Mark Ripien. The list goes on, right? And just a great franchise. Right up there, of course, with the Cowboys, the Giants, the 49ers, the Packers, the Bears. That kind of echelon in the history of the NFL. And Dan Snyder, in true Dan Snyder fashion, he bent both knees, I believe, in an attempt to try to save his butt and change the name. That was during the summer of, they call it the Summer of Love in Seattle, the George Floyd protest / let's burn your neighborhood down. During that whole fiasco, that's when the name actually got changed. Well, Native American group called NAGA, Native American Guardians Association, they, of course, have started a petition that has went mega viral, and we've got an update on that petition and where it is at. But they have come out, and they have had, it seems, they have had someone that has now exposed a member of the Washington Commanders, a representative that sells tickets, and he is actually the sales manager, if I can find that here somewhere. He was a sales manager that had a conversation, premium seat sales manager. So we're talking luxury suites, folks. Well, he has come out and he has decided to label this organization a fake group. Now, the only problem with that, and I think we're on video 5 or 6 covering this, and we've actually covered the Redskins thing going back for 3 years now. But just recently when the petition started, we started keeping up with this story, this group, and the petition. Well, my goodness, folks. Number one, the petition has completely exploded. I mean, we're looking at 128,569 signatures. So since my last video, we're a hair under 10,000 new signatures. That might be in the last 4 days or so, something like that, that has been added to this. It seems to me like they're adding in at a rate of about 2,000 signatures a day, right in there somewhere. So this has turned into a real movement. We also, during, I believe it was my last video, we went over to NAGA's website to just take a look, because there were some people out there trying to say then that this might not be real Indians. And my goodness gracious, they're all real Indians. And it gives you exactly what tribes they're associated with. You see this group on the screen right here in front of me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but just call it a wild hunch that these are real Indians, that these are real Native Americans right here, right in front of us. And that there at the end is, in fact, Eunice Davison. She is the leader of this NAGA group, which is a nonprofit. And Fox News always trying to slip in the ads. This is Billy Dreckman right here. He was on Fox and Friends last week, I believe. I mean, if this guy's not Native American...
the deep, rich history behind the Redskins name, the myth that it means bloody scalps or something derogatory is what we're trying to dispel. It's a status symbol for elite warriors. Yeah. Only the elite warriors were allowed to participate in the blood root ceremony to go into battle. It even says in our fight song, Braves on the Warpath. The imagery.
I mean, that's still one of the greatest logos anybody has ever seen in their lives. So now that you're caught up, let's get to this. Native Americans who are leading a viral petition demanding the Washington Commanders reclaim their historic Redskins name, bristled with anger and resolve after a team representative, a Washington Commanders team representative, called their organization, quote, a fake group. As you can imagine, this did not make Native Americans happy. Nor should it. Nor should it. By the time we get done, you're going to be like, wow, so the Commanders are just full-on racist? Is that what we're dealing with here? The Commanders organization, at least the people working for them possibly, at least this guy that made this proclamation about this being a fake group. Quote, we're not a fake group. We're tribal enrolled members from tribes across the United States. I can tell you from looking at their website, we're talking Sioux Indians, we're talking Navajo, and that's the two that stuck out that I can remember right off the bat. And that was from Eunice Davison, the leader, saying, we're tribal enrolled members from tribes across the United States. That is Eunice right there. NAGA generated national headlines this summer with a petition to bring the Redskins name back to the NFL. Well, look, the Commanders also did bring this on themselves some because Josh Harris, the new owner, brought up the Redskins. Ron Rivera brought up the Redskins. Ruh-roh, that's not, that's going to get the fire burning, let me tell you. So, Matthew Locks, he is a premium seat sales manager for the Washington Commanders and FedEx Field, wrote the following. Now, what you're about to hear here is a exchange between a former suite holder, season ticket holder that had a luxury suite, who canceled their suite because of the name change, Redskins. All right, when they dropped the Redskins name, Christina King, who's part of this text back and forth, canceled her season ticket as a luxury suite owner, and I'm sure Matthew was trying to get her back. All right? So she brought up the NAGA petition and the fact that she wanted the name changed to come back. This was his answer. Quote, you understand the people that started this petition is a fake group, right? Question mark? Holy moly. Wow. This name was, is, and forever will be a major problem, Christina King had texted earlier in the day, sparking what became a heated exchange between the two. So this is what he wrote right there. Now, it seemed he tried to cover his ass a little bit. Maybe he realized I said something I shouldn't have. The franchise adopted the name Boston Redskins in 1933 before moving to the Washington, D.C. in 1937. King said she gave up her suite after 3 years when the franchise, under previous owner Dan Snyder, dropped the Redskins as the team's nickname in 2020. Quote, as a fan of the team, I didn't want the name change either, Locke said at one point in the text exchange. He appeared to grow increasingly frustrated as King dug in her heels in defense of the traditional Redskins name and in support of the petition before he called NAGA a fake group. So in other words, she said, look, I am supporting, by the way, the Commanders have come out and they're trying to say this guy doesn't represent the organization. Well, now, what does this say right here? Matthew Locks, a premium sales manager for the Commanders. Excuse me, Washington Commanders. Does Dan Snyder still own this team? Because that kind of sounds like the bullshit that would come out from somebody that's... I'm sure this guy was probably hired by Snyder. Fox News Digital reached Lux, but he declined to talk. Oh, no comment. Nothing to see here. Please move along. A lot to see here. You got yourself in some serious shit, probably. A Commander spokesperson told the Fox News Digital that Lux does not speak for the organization. By the way, the Commanders doubled down by saying this does not signify any shift in our approach, nor does it change the valid reasons for dropping the name. What were the valid reasons? So, as you can imagine, this was answered by NAGA very, very, very directly. The team should have never been pressured into changing the name. That's what Christina King, the sweetholder, said. Davison Eunice of NAGA claimed the pressure to remove the Redskins from the NFL, as well as Native American imagery from high school, college, and pro sports around the country, please see Cleveland Indians, is led by a racist, white, woke college professors and academics. Now, she's not wrong there, okay? There's an indoctrination thing going on across this country. I mean, you could send your kid into one of these liberal universities, perfectly normal. They'll come out a complete and total lunatic social justice warrior. Yeah, that's probably protesting climate change at a reservation and gets run over by a truck. Yeah, because Native Americans aren't fixing to play with you. They're not. People want to call us fake, and they've done that before, Davison said. They never tell our story, and that's their goal, to wipe out Native history. It's discrimination when you go after one culture like this. Toxic ignorance has fueled the effort by woke professors and academics to erase Native American history from the nation's sport and pop culture lexicon. Bilodeau, who is the author of the book, How the Redskins Got Their Name. Wow. So that is the pushback. And she just went out there and said, look, this is woke-ass white people that have canceled the Native Americans. The woke white people in the Democratic Party, in the Socialist Democratic Party, say it ain't so. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. We see the very same people try to tell white people, black people, how they're supposed to feel about things all the time in everyday life as well. Something about that party, that wokeness there, that poison. Still being racist after all these years, Democrats. Doesn't shock me. And don't get confused. It's socialist white Democrats that led the fire behind we're offended by all this crap, including the Redskins name, including the Cleveland Indians name, throughout time. It started several years ago. Again, they go into college, get indoctrinated, come out the other side raving lunatics with purple hair. Please see Megan Rapinoe. But you get my point that I'm trying to make here. Unbelievable. I mean, just come out and said they're a fake group. They're not real Native Americans. Except they are, and we just showed you several members of the group, including the leader of said nonprofit. All you got to do is go to NAGA's website. There's plenty of information on there and pictures of who they are. That's a bad look for the Washington Commanders. That's a look. That's wording. I mean, that's phrasing that you expect out of a Dan Snyder-run organization, and Josh Harris is the new owner, correct? Look, the biggest thing that could happen is that this team goes back to being the Redskins because it immediately elevates every single game that they're involved with back to that old historic status. Let's be real. Cowboys versus Redskins just has a ring to it, doesn't it? Giants versus Redskins. Joe Gibbs versus Bill Parcells. My goodness. Joe Gibbs versus Tom Landry. That's the kind of thing, if you're my age, 47, that you remember, you know? So, anyway, it'll be 129,000 signatures on that petition by the end of the day. Maybe it'll be 130,000 by the end of the day tomorrow. These fans, football fans, NFL fans, common sense fans, they want to see this great name returned. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.